20. Adversity and adversarial. Sink.
If you threw a handful of wheat and sand into the ocean, the sand would sink and the wheat would float. The cat slipped into the bathroom sink.
Abuse.
If a person sinks into debt because of overspending or credit card abuse, other people consider the problem to be the result of the individual's personal failings.
Bracket.
You may overlook debt among people in low-income brackets who have no other way than debt to acquire basic necessities of life.
Adversity.
When people face real adversity, such as disease, unemployment, or the disabilities of life, affection from a pet takes on new meaning.
Adversary.
The two nations have been old adversaries.
Adversarial.
The approach used by ancient Greeks was to pursue rational inquiry through adversarial discussion. The best way to evaluate one set of ideas was by testing it against another set of ideas.
Backfire.
It might seem that praising your child's intelligence or talent would boost his self-esteem and motivate him. But it turns out that this sort of praise backfires.
Skip.
Many consumers just skip over commercials on the internet.
Vital.
Seeking closeness and meaningful relationships has long been vital for human survival.
Nutrition.
We should take care of our bodies through proper nutrition, exercise, and rest.
Nutritional.
Those people live on a single crop, such as wheat or rice, which lacks some of the vitamins, minerals, and other nutritional materials humans need.
Nutritious.
When you skip breakfast, you are like a car trying to run without fuel. Experts say that a nutritious breakfast is the brain's fuel.
Nutrient.
People in these regions cannot grow green vegetables packed with vital nutrients such as vitamin A.
Malnutrition.
Better living standards achieved through improvements in education, housing, and nutrition have greatly reduced malnutrition and the danger of catching diseases.
Diverse.
Even people who might seem similar can be very different. From different appearances, to different personalities, to different beliefs, it's a big world full of interesting and diverse people.
Diversity.
It is tolerance that protects the diversity which makes the world so exciting.
Diversify.
They have to be educated about nutrition and encouraged to diversify their diets.
Infamous.
Teams made up of diverse specialists are infamous for their inability to get things done.
Torture.
The infamous police tortured those people who fought for democracy.
Torturous.
The painter continued to paint in spite of his illness, fighting torturous pain with each brushstroke.
Bully.
We should teach children to stop bullying at schools. This relates to a basic principle. Do not do to others what you would not want others to do to you.
Trench.
More than half of the tanks broke down before they got to the German trenches.
Entrenched.
Stable patterns of behaviors are necessary lest we live in chaos. However, they make it difficult to give up entrenched behaviors, even those that are no longer useful or constructive.
Fraud.
If someone is able to acquire your name and password, He is able to convince an electronic system that he is you. This is a necessary part in large numbers of cyber-related fraud, and cyber-related fraud is by far the most common form of crime that hits individuals.
Proportion.
During this period, travel by public transport has doubled, and the proportion of journeys by automobiles has declined from 38% to 32%.
Proportional.
Each family in the community received enough food proportional to their need.
Primitive.
In primitive agricultural systems, the difference in productivity between male and female agricultural labor is proportional to the difference in physical strength.
Gigantic.
An Egyptian sculpture no bigger than a person's hand is more important than the gigantic pile of stones that constitutes the war memorial in Europe.
Encounter.
If you encounter a snake in a field, it will frighten you, putting you on alert.
Slay.
The hunters, armed only with primitive weapons, were no real match for an angry mammoth. Many were killed in the close encounters that were necessary to slay one of these gigantic animals.